What if I told you that one of Chicago's youngest rising drill rappers, a kid who already carried a bullet inside his leg, was just one step away from death? What if I told you the flashing red lights outside a St. Louis hospital weren't just sirens? They were a warning sign, a cruel reminder that in drill culture, death is never far away. Hound Q50's story is not just about music. It's about pain, betrayal, and a cycle of violence that refuses to let him breathe. Fans remember when his closest friend Lil Jeff was gunned down in 2024, 19 bullets tearing through a young life, leaving Q50 broken and searching for purpose. That loss pushed him into rap, but rap never saved him. The streets never let him go. So when rumors exploded online on August 17, 2025, that his black truck had been ambushed with over 60 rounds, that he'd been rushed to a hospital clinging to life, no one doubted it.
How could they?
This wasn't just gossip. It was believable tragedy. Images of flashing ambulances outside a hospital spread like wildfire, fans whispering, "Check on Q50," while blogs rushed to write his obituary. Some even swore he was gone. Imagine being a fan, scrolling through your phone, and suddenly seeing your favorite rapper's name under a headline that reads, "Fatally shot." Imagine remembering his past interview, his calm voice saying he still walks around with a bullet lodged in his body. The internet didn't stop to question. It cried, it mourned, it believed. For hours, the world thought Q50 was finished. And in that moment, drill culture once again proved its cruel truth. In this game, life and death are just one rumor away. They say legends don't die, but what happens when the internet tries to bury one alive? On August 17, 2025, the world woke up to a nightmare. Headlines screamed, Twitter feeds exploded, TikTok edits spread like wildfire. Hound Q50 shot down in St. Louis. And with each repost, with every flashing siren clip, the line between rumor and reality shattered. Q50, a 20-year-old drill rapper from Chicago, wasn't supposed to make it this far. He wasn't supposed to rise above the pain of losing his closest friend, Lil Jeff, murdered in cold blood. He wasn't supposed to survive the bullet still lodged in his own leg, a permanent reminder of how fragile life in the trenches truly is. But somehow he did. He turned grief into verses, trauma into anthems. He fought to carve his name into drill history, even while the streets pulled him back every step of the way. And that's why, when the hospital footage dropped, fans didn't hesitate. A shaky Instagram story showing flashing red and blue lights outside an emergency room. Ambulances lined up, police milling around, the caption chilling in its simplicity. Check on Q50. That was all it took. For hours, panic reigned. Blogs plastered breaking news banners across their pages. YouTubers rushed out videos declaring him critically injured. Some outlets didn't even wait. They pronounced him dead. Imagine that. Your name written into an obituary before the truth has even caught up to you. Your life measured in clicks. Your pain packaged as content. But why did people believe it so quickly? Because Q50's story had always been drenched in violence. Because fans remembered the Vlad TV interview where he admitted he never panicked when he got shot. A teenager bleeding out, calmly pressing on his leg while a bullet tore his flesh, saying the only rule he lived by was don't panic. How could the world not believe this hospital story? It sounded like the tragic next chapter in a book everyone thought they already knew. As rumors spread, the details grew wilder. Some said his truck had been hit with 60 rounds of automatic fire. Others claimed it was a setup, a fake show in St. Louis designed to lure him into an ambush. By noon, social media had turned into a funeral procession. Fan pages changed their profile pictures to his face. Hashtags like #PrayForQ50 and #LLQ50 trended. For the first time, people who had never even heard of him before now spoke his name with a mixture of pity and awe. That's the cruel irony of drill. Death, or even a rumor of death, can catapult you higher than your music ever could. To outsiders, drill is just rap. To those who live it, drill is survival. It's scars. It's every funeral that blurs into the next, every mother screaming outside yellow tape. And for Q50, it was suddenly every fan wondering if his time had finally run out. But then, hours later, the twist no one saw coming. While blogs refreshed their pages with updates and trolls celebrated in comments, Q50 himself broke the silence. A carousel of photos appeared on his Instagram. Him, sitting relaxed in a car, no bandages, no blood, no hospital bed. The caption? A cryptic line referencing Biggie Smalls. Notorious like Big Papa, but I ain't going like Chris Wallace. It was a dagger through the rumors. A message to everyone who had already buried him. Y'all want me gone like Biggie, but I'm still here. And as if that wasn't enough, he doubled down by going live, smirking into the camera, laughing at the chaos. No 4 drips, no oxygen mask, just his voice, taunting the world. I know for a fact y'all was hoping that true, but I'm still breathing. Fans were stunned. Some cried tears of relief. Others refused to believe it, insisting he must be hiding injuries. But whether you believed or doubted, one thing was clear. Q50 had once again turned tragedy into fuel. This wasn't just another rumor. This was the perfect storm of drill culture, internet obsession, and a rapper who knew exactly how to play the game. Because the truth is, even fake death has power in this world. And Q50, scarred but smiling, had just proved that survival, even survival against lies, can make you bigger than ever. But if this was just a rumor, what does it say about the world we live in? About an ecosystem that doesn't just expect young Black rappers to die, but craves it, clicks it, shares it? What does it say when flashing lights outside a hospital are enough to convince millions that a life has ended? Hound Q50 didn't just survive the ambush rumor. He survived something darker, the internet's hunger for his downfall. And yet, that haunting footage, those flashing lights, still linger in the minds of his fans. Because if it wasn't real this time, who's to say it won't be next time? The internet didn't just talk about Q50's so-called hospital ambush. It tore itself apart over it. For hours, timelines turned into a battlefield of emotions. On one side, fans were praying, posting candles, dropping broken heart emojis with captions like, "Not Q50, not him. Please let this be fake." On the other side, trolls laughed, rivals gloated, and rumor-chasing blogs cashed in on the chaos. This wasn't just a rumor, it was a cultural earthquake. And it revealed something terrifying: how easy it is to bury someone while they're still alive. Think about it. Q50 had already lived through so much. He carried grief like a second skin. Losing Lil Jeff in 2024 wasn't just losing a friend, it was losing a piece of himself. He turned that pain into music, but the wound never healed. And when that hospital footage dropped, those flashing lights outside and ER didn't just signal an incident. They triggered memories of every funeral drill fans had seen before. It felt too real. It felt inevitable. Because in drill, survival is temporary. Everyone knows it. Rappers become martyrs before they ever become legends. Fans have seen it with too many names, gone too soon, taken in their prime. So when the internet said Q50 had finally fallen, people didn't question. They accepted. They mourned. They believed. But the belief wasn't innocent. It was fueled by something darker. The hunger for spectacle. The headlines weren't just updates, they were entertainment. Q50 ambushed in St. Louis, truck hit with 60 rounds, rapper in critical condition. Each headline was like gasoline, and social media was the fire. Some blogs even published obituaries. Imagine that, your death story written, shared, and consumed by millions while you're sitting somewhere alive, scrolling your own timeline. For Q50, the tragedy wasn't just the rumor itself. It was the way the world celebrated it, the way his name became content for clicks. And yet, the moment he reappeared, alive, smirking, trolling, something strange happened. Instead of relief, many people felt confusion. Some fans couldn't accept it. They whispered, maybe he's hiding wounds. Others accused him of faking the whole situation for clout. The line between truth and performance blurred so completely that even reality felt like another rumor. That's the curse of drill fame. No one believes you when you're alive. But everyone worships you when they think you're gone. Q50 himself seemed to understand this better than anyone. That's why he leaned into it. The Biggie Smalls reference wasn't just a lyric, it was a statement. He knew what the world wanted. They wanted him dead, another hashtag, another mural on a Chicago wall. But by mocking the rumors, by flipping the narrative, he proved something. He wasn't just surviving the streets, he was surviving the internet. Still, the damage was done. His name trended worldwide not because of his music, but because people thought he was lying in a hospital bed. The tragedy of drill is that pain sells faster than art. Death spreads quicker than albums. A blurred video of flashing sirens can overshadow years of music in just minutes. And for Q50, this was the haunting truth. His survival didn't stop the rumor, it fed it. Because now, fans and enemies alike are watching closer than ever. They're waiting for the next video, the next flashing light, the next confirmation. The internet tried to bury him once, and it will try again. But here's the part that cuts deepest. The confusion wasn't just about him. Around October 2024, another young Chicago rapper named Lil Q50 had actually been killed in an ambush. Only 15 years old, gone before his story could even begin. The similarity in names poured gasoline on the fire. Blogs mixed them up. Fans merged their stories. One boy's real death became tangled with another's rumored one. That's the cycle. In drill, names blur together. Loss becomes so common that even obituaries get confused. And when fans saw Q50 shot on their feeds, they didn't even ask which Q50. It didn't matter. The tragedy was believable either way. This is why the hospital rumor hit so hard. It wasn't just about Q50, it was about the culture of expectation. The world expects drill rappers to die young. The world expects flashing lights to mean another headline. And when you live in that reality, rumors don't feel like lies. They feel like spoilers. For Q50, surviving this hoax gave him clout, but it also gave him a shadow. Because fans won't forget that haunting footage. They won't forget the captions urging them to check on Q50. And they won't forget how quickly the internet moved to replace his name with "Long Live Q50." It's a dangerous place to be, because the truth is, sometimes the rumor comes first, and the reality follows. Too many rappers have gone live denying death rumors, only to be shot days later. Too many headlines have been written twice, once in error, once for real. And that's what makes this story so haunting. The footage may have been fake. The rumor may have been false. But the danger? The danger was always real. Hound Q50 survived the ambush rumor. He survived the internet's obsession with his death. But in a culture where tragedy trends faster than music, the question isn't whether the rumor was true this time. The question is, what happens when the flashing lights aren't just a rumor? What happens when the internet finally gets the ending it's been waiting for? The smoke may have cleared, but the scars remain. The rumor storm that almost buried Q50 alive left behind something darker than broken headlines. It left a question hanging in the air. How long can he outrun the ending everyone seems to expect? Because here's the reality. Even after Q50 went live to show the world he was breathing, laughing, even trolling the chaos, people didn't let go. Some swore he was covering injuries. Others said it was only a matter of time. And in a way, they weren't just talking about him. They were talking about drill culture itself. Drill doesn't forgive. It doesn't allow you to escape. You can sign deals, drop albums, travel the world, but the streets stay with you. The same fans who scream your lyrics are the same ones who will post your RIP poster the second your name hits a headline. For Q50, that's the curse he can't shake. Remember, this is a kid who grew up surrounded by violence. A bullet still sits in his leg, a reminder carved into his body that tomorrow is never promised. He lost his closest brother in music, Lil Jeff, to 19 shots. He's walked into hospitals before, not knowing if he'd walk out. So when flashing lights outside and ER appeared online, it wasn't just believable, it was prophecy. People didn't question it because they'd seen it too many times before. And that's where the tragedy hits hardest. The world is so conditioned to expect death from drill rappers that survival feels like a glitch. Q50 being alive became less interesting than the idea of him being gone. That's the weight he carries now, not just the fear of bullets in real life, but the burden of a digital graveyard waiting to claim him at any second. But here's the haunting twist. While blogs argued about whether he was alive, his streams surged. His name plastered across platforms brought him more attention than any single he dropped. For some rappers, a death rumor can do more for their career than their own music. That's the brutal math of this game. Tragedy is currency. And for Q50, this hospital ambush proved it. Yet, fame built on rumors is a double-edged sword. Because once people taste blood, they want more. Fans will watch every move, waiting for another ambulance clip, another headline, another chance to mourn. Rivals will exploit the story, mocking him, spinning new narratives. And every time he posts, every time he laughs off the chaos, it won't silence the whispers, it will feed them. The internet never forgets. Those shaky videos, those captions urging "check on Q50" will live forever. Years from now, people will still search them, still debate them, still wonder if that night in St. Louis was a near miss or something staged. That's the tragedy of living in an era where reality and rumor are indistinguishable. And for Q50, that means every performance, every city, every crowd carries a shadow. He may have survived the hospital rumor, but survival doesn't erase expectation. It only delays it. Because in drill, every story feels like it's being written toward the same ending, an obituary. But let's not twist it, Q50 isn't just a victim. He's also a survivor. He flipped a narrative that could have buried him and turned it into clout. He mocked the world for trying to kill him with rumors. He stood tall, even as people mourned him prematurely. That takes a strength most can't imagine. Still, the haunting truth lingers. What happens next time? What happens when the flashing lights aren't just a rumor, when the shaky footage isn't a hoax, when the internet finally gets the tragedy it's been waiting for? Fans may celebrate now that he lived, but deep down, they know this game is unforgiving. Bloodhound Q50 didn't just almost finish in a hospital ambush. He almost finished in the eyes of the world. The internet wrote his ending, and for hours, millions believed it. And though he erased that rumor with a smile and an Instagram live, the shadow remains. Because in drill culture, survival is temporary, but death is forever. And if this story has shown us anything, it's that Q50's haunting fight isn't just against his ops in the streets. It's against a world that refuses to let him live without expecting him to die. So now I have to ask you, what do you believe? Was Bloodhound Q50 really the victim of a hospital ambush? A young life nearly erased by 60 bullets, flashing sirens, and a world too eager to mourn? Or was this entire tragedy just another cruel reminder of how quick the internet is to bury its own? Because here's the truth, Q50 survived this rumor. But survival doesn't mean safety. Every drill rapper carries the same shadow, the weight of expectation. Fans expect the flashing lights, the ambulance, the RIP hashtags. They don't just prepare for it, they wait for it. And that's the most heartbreaking part. A culture where tragedy is entertainment, where rumors trend faster than music, where a young man can wake up alive only to find his obituary already written. And tonight, I want to hear from you. Do you think Q50 was lucky this time, or is the clock still ticking? Did the internet almost kill him before the streets could? Or is this the start of a bigger storm, one that even he won't be able to laugh off? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Don't hold back. Tell me how you felt when you first saw that hospital footage. Did your heart sink? Did you believe the worst? Or were you one of the few who held on, hoping it wasn't true? And if this shook you the way it shook us, smash that like button. Share this video so more people can see how dangerous this cycle has become. And don't forget to subscribe because this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. The flashing lights may fade, but the shadows chasing Q50 are still out there. And trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next.